Hey guys, Shari G. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't done so, hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell because I will be back. To all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And to any content creators that might be out there peeping my channel, thank you so much for being here. You're much appreciated. I'm open for it to receive any advice that you have or whatever. I'm actually going to have a little training session this weekend. I'll be traveling to San Antonio for that. So I'm excited about that. I can make some changes to this channel and spruce things up. Anyway, I watched Basketball Wives on Monday, and I am going to give some commentary on that. I'm just not going to do that tonight. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I actually took some time to look at it and compare it to Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I have a little interesting twist that I want to bring about with that. But tonight I want to talk about this phrase that just kind of irks me. And it's when people say that if you're the common denominator, you're the problem. And they use that phrase a lot when they're talking about Mel. And I just don't agree. Not just because it's Mel, but I just don't agree with that perspective. It's like putting people in a box, right? Like everybody has to fit in a box. And once we can see Mel doesn't fit in the box with everybody, hence the problem. So I guess in that perspective, if you look at it that way, yeah, she's the common denominator. And yeah, she's the problem because she's not like the rest. When you've been called and you've been set apart, you're not going to be like the rest. When you're tapped in and you start to understand that you have a purpose and you understand what your purpose is and you stand firm in your beliefs and you're unshakable, unmovable, unstoppable, that's what we see in Mel. That's what we see in Mel. She's really starting to come into her own. It's not like she didn't always have it. It's not like she didn't always possess these qualities. But when you realize the energy of everyone else around you and you understand that you're just not on that vibrational level, that not that you're necessarily better than them, but you're moving in a different direction than they are. And that's not to say that they can't move in that direction later, but right now they're stuck. All of these people, the Scotts, Destiny, Stormy, they're stuck. And yes, we all deal with insecurities and our emotions can get to us. Our egos can get the best of us. But we have to let those things kind of like pass through us and move through us. And Melody has done that. And I don't know if it's just the help of our therapy, which is a good thing, or if it's just that coupled with faith and a strong belief in herself and just knowing that, man, these are things that I've been called to do and I just got to do these things, even if I'm the odd man out. It seems like the rest of the group has what's known as groupthink mentality. And that's when you have a group of people that they're going to go with a majority, even if deep on the inside, they really feel like the way the majority is thinking, the things the majority are saying, that the way that they're moving is not right. But they're just going to go along just to get along. This is what's happening here. And I feel that in some ways, I feel like that's Kimmy. Like she's stuck. She's stuck because she knows deep down inside that the Scotts are not right. She has to know that. I mean, she's been in this family for a long time. Like she's been in this family for several years. It took 7 years before she even got a ring. And according to her husband, allegedly, he married her because he realized that common law was going to be abolished in Alabama. So he married her. That's something to think about. That's something to think about. And then there's some other things that went along with that. But I'm not here to talk about their marriages and what my opinions are of their marriage. I just want to clear up that that way of thinking that people have, that if you're the common denominator, then you're the problem. No, I've been the common denominator a few times. But when I know that this is how I'm going and this is how I'm moving, and the people over here are stuck, I'm not staying here. It's time for me to move on. Everybody's not going to go with you when you go. And there's seasons where you just get to work with people, just get to be with you just for a season. And then maybe they can come back at another season. But right now, in this season, it can't be. So who knows? Maybe they will work with her later down the line. But I feel like there's just so much deception that has happened, and so much animosity that they have, which is really unfortunate and misguided, really, because they're dealing with their own issues, and their issues are getting in the way of their possibilities. Stormy, for instance, Stormy has a business. She had a business before she came on the show, Campus Beauty. Just no one just didn't know who she was. So she had the fortune, allegedly, but she just didn't have the fame. She didn't have the notoriety. No one knew the face behind the brand. And this was her opportunity to make that happen. But allegedly, Stormy suffers from feeling insignificant. It reminds me of when she said, I was watching her where she was giving a speech, and she was, it was like an empowerment speech that she was doing. And she was telling the group that when she decided that she was going to go in this direction and build this business, she had also decided that at that particular time, she was going to discontinue school. And when she told her mother called her a dumb bitch. Can you imagine your mom calling you that? And in my mind, if this is the way her mom spoke to her then, this is the way her mom spoke to her often, tearing down and tearing away at her self-esteem. So, as a parent, it's our responsibility to put healthy deposits into our children's self-esteem bank. We can either put deposits in, or we could take away from their self-esteem banks. And that's what I see happening. That's what I see happened with Stormy. And so she's always fighting for significance. She's always fighting to be that it girl. She's always fighting to be known. She's always trying to prove herself. But her brand is already there, and it proves how powerful she is. Like, how many young African American Black women can say they have a brand like that? But she fails to realize what a diamond she is. And she sees Melody as a threat, the threat that she really isn't. That they could be powerful together, but she just doesn't see that. So that explains why she has all this animosity against Mel, and why Mel is the common denominator. And then, like I said, there's the Scotts. I already explained Tisha. And Marceau, what is he going to do now? How is he going to feed his family? Because he has a business that's struggling, right? He has a business where he didn't have that many projects. The last research I did, he had 2 projects, and they were last year, right? In August of 2020. What year are we in? Oh my goodness. 2022 of August. I don't know. He may have had some recently, but I seriously doubt it because of the $5.5 million lawsuit. I know they have to be losing sleep, no matter how much they put on the happy face on IG and all these posts they do as the loving couple. By the way, did you hear that they're going to be doing, giving advice, relationship advice? Clutch the pearls. I cannot imagine, but do your thing, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. I ain't got nothing to say about that, okay? We shall see. But I do think that that's just for the show. I'm sorry. I think that's for the show. In my opinion, I think that's for the show. I think season 6, we're going to get a lot of more phony, fake, plastic. And that's why, in my opinion, I feel like season 6 is probably just going to be it. Pull the plug, because we're going to get more of the same junk that we got before. For real. They're already setting it up right before our eyes. Like, we can't see. There's just so much. But anyway, Then there's then there's, what's his name? Yeah, Maurice and Kimmy. Same thing. She pulled the plug on their big old plan. This was the money making deal for them. They were going to be it. Like was going to be it. This is going to set them up. So of course there's that animosity. And I remember, and I've seen a couple of other people talk about it too, where in the beginning when they were getting those massages at Mel's, it was Tisha and it was Kimmy and Mel, and they were at Mel's house. They had never been to her house before, so they were kind of like in awe. Oh my God, this is your house? Like we've never been to your house before. But no kidding, we haven't been socializing lately. We've always had nice things, but yeah, we moved up a little bit since the last time you've seen us. So they were kind of taken aback by that. And then Kimmy, you could just see the jealousy on her. You could just feel that energy, in my opinion. And then she was called her bougie. But Kimmy has a new website. I don't know if you've seen it, for her new business. And it's bougie, okay? It is bougie. And there's some other things that I discovered about that website. I can't wait to talk about it. I'm like, okay. That's why I'm telling you, when we get to season 6, I just can't wait to compare the things that I've seen and that I've noticed to what is going to happen in this season 6. Like, oh my God, where do Maurice and Marceau and Tisha, where do they really live? It ain't that townhouse. Did you notice that they started off in the townhouse and then they ended up in another house? Because when they were in the backyard I remember them I'm trying to find what season that's in and what episode, but they were in the back talking to Miss Wanda, and they were on, like, it was a patio or something, like, but it wasn't the townhouse, because I have pictures of that. Oh, I better stop. They might see me. They might get mad at me. But no, seriously, I'm not going to post that here. I just kept it for my own, being in real estate is just kind of interesting. The things you can find out is so interesting. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah, we're going to keep it good over here. We're going to keep it good. But yeah, so that phrase that, you're the common denominator, it might be true, but it's for a good, valid reason. So hats off to her for being the common denominator. Okay. And what I'm hoping is they'll do, if they're going to keep this show, they probably need to do a recast, because the cast that they're keeping up there right now is just fake and phony, in my opinion, and allegedly based on the information that I have and that all of you have, and just sitting back looking at it, it just screams, ugh. And I know that there are some people that, they're all for the Scotts and everything, and that's good. Like, we all have our opinions, so we can agree to disagree in a respectful way. But it's not that I don't like them or anything. I just don't like the fakeness of it. I wish them all well in their endeavors, but let's get some real endeavors. Let's tell the truth. Like, yeah, we had these plans, but this is what happened, and this is the direction that we're going in. Black is not 100% ours. We're part owners, but these are the plans, because that is still good. That is still good, and a lot of people can't even say that they are part owners in anything. So stand up and be proud of where you are, but them not being able to do that for whatever reason, not being able to share their truths and stand in it and being proud, even the struggles of their marriage and how they really overcome it, like, this is what it was, but this is how we worked it out. They accused Mel of trying to have a perfect marriage. She didn't trust to tell them everything, but we see, looking at the show, that she and Martell are the only ones who told the truth about their situation. The Scotts didn't tell us anything about their situation, and Destiny certainly didn't, right? She told us nothing, and I'm really not sure about Stormy and her marriage. Does she wear pants in her house? I have a feeling that, this is my opinion, right? She probably gives him a hard time, but he seems like a nice guy. And they have a gorgeous home on all that beautiful land. But anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. So if you haven't done so, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, because I will be back. Until then, ciao.